They've read every article. They've listened to every podcast. They've done every protocol. They've tried every supplement. They've read every book, and they're not any better. They will often come into programs with us with a jaundiced or skeptical view of what we are offering them, thinking, well, what could I possibly learn from this? I've already taken this person's course, and I've done this person's boot camp, and I did this protocol and that protocol, and I've gone to see all these doctors. What are these people going to teach me that's different? But that's what's really unique about the way that we look at things, is that I really don't see anyone else in the field who's got this breadth of a view, and that's the benefit of, the two of us working together along with our whole team. You have 25 years of strength and conditioning experience, and you really didn't stop at just learning how to put more plates on the weight rack. You hung out with guys like Rob
Sometimes that,
Wolf.
sure.
What?
Sometimes that's the problem. Sometimes that's the problem. Putting more weights on the weight rack might be your problem.
Exactly. Exactly. But
Right.
it's very much Hippocrates said something. He said, sometimes to do nothing is a good remedy. And only when you've practiced a lot and seen a lot of cases, and also seen a lot of really sick cases, and also seen a lot of really sick cases not do well or get better, do you start to think, well, maybe I could actually get people better results if I did less. And it's the same thing in the gym as it is in the hospital. And that's so funny. There's so many good quotes and so many good examples about this. Like Osler said, the new physician starts life with, 20 medications for every disease, and the old physician ends life with 4 medications for every disease. And I'm paraphrasing, it wasn't quite that, but he essentially meant that as you get better and better and you gain experience, you actually focus more on fewer things. And I heard somebody once talking about success, they said, some of you need to say less to more people. And what they meant was you need to go through and it's not about the volume of material. It's not about the complexity. It's not about, you know, endlessly learning. It's actually about implementation, and it's about focusing on particularly the 20% of what you need to do that's going to get you 80% of the results. And the sad thing is that not a lot of people really spend their time promoting and holding people accountable to doing that 20%.
Yeah. I mean, I hear over and over again when I talk to people and I start educating them on some of the basic fundamental habits that we've seen really move the needle for people. And they're like, I know that, I know that, I know that. But it's like, are you actually doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you actually know what it means to relax? Do you actually know what it means to shut off? Are you trying to make an effort to live a more outdoor life? Most people are, overwhelmed with information. And for me anyways, as a coach working with people every day, for, decades, my job is to take all this information and all this chatter and give them a few simple actionable things that they can do every single day consistently over time. And that's really, really what it's all about. And then you make adjustments along the way. But until you've nailed all the foundational things, you really got to be careful how many things you start chasing, because that's an endless game, right?
It is.
Because there's
It's
always
true.
something new. There's always something else. You always run out of therapeutic runway to steal a term from you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think the number one thing I start with anyways, when I talk to people is the light component, really the outdoor component, because most people in the Western world just live their entire life indoors.
Right.
And are scared to death of the sun. And the sun just basically controls so many things that people haven't even thought about. Everything from detoxification to, of course, vitamin D, regulation of immune system, regulation of digestion, all these things. I think circadian rhythm is probably the most overlooked thing in the health and wellness space. It's linked to just about everything you could possibly imagine. And we start there. I mean, if people aren't getting outside at least a couple times a day, the chances of them being healthy and being in a good place and being able to make good decisions and if their sleep is messed up because they don't go outside, that's just a cascade for disaster. I don't care how many supplements you take. I don't care what you're doing. If you're not getting outside, if you're not getting some sunlight, if your sleep isn't decent, it's going to be very difficult for you to improve, no matter whether you have an autoimmune disease or whether you want to lose some weight or lose body fat. If you have a performance goal, those things are just not going to happen as easily if you are sleep deprived and your circadian rhythm is crushed.